you grew up a Generation X kid like I did, you didn't have no fancy iPad. Nope, you had a magic slate. You could write on it, lift up the film, and it would disappear. You got a brand new toy. It was a lot of fun, and they made a damn ton of these. Let's take a look at some of the best and worst. The magic slate. I can't believe I haven't done a video on these. Anyone that grew up, I think they make them today. They're probably magnets today, I think. But these were it looked like a little tablet, and it was cardboard, and there was this waxy like paper on front of it that you lifted up. Well, under it was like the waxy part. It was like a black wax thing, and you put this paper down when you got the pen. It came with a pen. That's what I liked about it. It came with a little red pen. And when you press down on it, that black touched into there. I don't know the technical how this stuff worked, but it made it look like you were drawing on it, you know? Made it look magic. And you lift it up, it would disappear. Put it back down, start all over again. Draw a big smiley face, lift it up, put it down, draw a picture of a moon. I drew many penises on this thing, and I'm sure you did too. Magic slate. I know I'm not explaining it too well to the people out there who don't know what I'm talking about, but I doubt if you don't know what I'm talking about, you even watched this video. And did you know they made so many of these? It seemed like any license they could, they slapped on this thing, except Star Wars. It's like they went out there, what was color forms? The magic slate. Lucasfilm, what'd you have against them? But they've done a lot of these, and I got to about 46 of them. I was like, I gotta quit making videos. I can't just keep pulling these up all the time. So we're gonna dig in and take a look at these. Let's go. We're going to start right here with a cartoon I liked as a kid. Jetsons. I like the Jetsons. Never was like a huge, like I could tell you all about it, but if I was watching TV and Jetsons were on, I would check it out. There you go, the Jetsons. And that one don't come with a pen. Maybe it's missing. And then we've got the Power Rangers. Still making them in the 90s. Look at that. They went cheap. They look like this is the last one they made for the day. We're going home after this one, and they just slapped this one together. But there it is, that red pen. It's always a red pen. It's always the same shape and everything. But I like it. You could put it back in there. You wouldn't lose it. Sometimes you would if you was one of those kids that didn't take care of his shit. But a lot of times you could keep it. You draw on there, draw all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of fun, man. You draw all kinds. I had a friend that once drew. I want you to have a. I'm not even going to edit that out so you guys see how stupid that was. I once had a friend that drew a booby on it. A booby, I think we all did that. You could do the sagging booby, the classic sagging booby, you could draw that, or the front on tight, firm booby. You could do either one of them. Let's go on right here. Underdog. Remember that superhero? He was dog, but he was under. He was underdog. And there he is right there, rescuing Underlady. Hell, Muppets in space, but we didn't get Star Wars? Well, at least it ain't Muppet Baby. I didn't even look. There's no Muppet Baby in this video. I didn't even look. I didn't even want to see that. Here's one of the earlier ones from the 60s. Man, Schoolhouse Slate. Little Red. I don't know who Little Red is. I don't know. Guess Little Red Riding Hood's cousin. I'm not really sure. But that's where it all, I ain't going to say where it all started. It might have been the first one. That's an early one right there. And then you got Spider-Man. Superheroes. Got Hulk on there. You got Captain America. And that's just 3 of them. But there you go. What's it say? Tip. Something. I can't read. That's blurry. Maybe I'll read the next one here. It says it on all of them. Mr. T. Mr. T getting an act. You could draw a pity of a fool. Mr. T. Oh, snapping store. You snap it out and put it back in and store the pen. That's what it's telling you right there. And how about this one? This one. Centrons. Yeah, remember that toy line? They got their own slate. Magic slate board. Can't believe it. It had to be cheap to make. I mean, all it was making the cardboard. There's nothing on the back of these cardboard. The back of it is blank. Didn't even need instructions for this thing. And then you have Wacky Racers. Remember that? Wacky Racers. Man, who would? Man, imagine a kid, you go into a store, these will come spinning rack by the gas station, maybe Stuckies, your sister's getting a pecan log, your mama's getting a goo-goo, and you're sitting there pulling out a magic slate pad. Which one do you get? Man, your brother's buying the invisible ink pad. Remember that? I love those invisible ink pads at Stuckies. And how about this one? The Rubik's Cube cartoon. The Rubik's Cube cartoon even had one. Masters of the Universe. Battle Armor He-Man. I never liked Battle Armor He-Man. Even as a kid, I was like, that's just a gimmick to get me to buy another action figure of He-Man. Didn't like that. It always made me upset. And then we got Star Trek getting into that. Yeah, James T. Kirk right there. Man, you probably could draw the Enterprise if you knew what you were doing. And how about this one right here? Starcom. Remember Starcom? You don't? I'm sure you do if you grew up in the 80s. You remember Starcom? I remember seeing it and everything. I don't remember watching it or nothing. And then we've got G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, the toy line, became a magic slate. Look at that. Here's G.I. Joe himself in the corner. G.I. Joe. And how about this? No, wait. Ugh. And then we got Batman Returns. I couldn't find any Batman 1989, but Batman Returns, I guess the magic slate people got a little slow there. Like, that Batman movie, it ain't gonna be nothing. It was a big hit. And they said, oh, get on board for Batman Returns. And then we got the Berenstein Bears. Well, we're the Berenstein Bears, depending on what universe you're from. And then we got Roger Rabbit. Who framed that motherfucker? I don't know. Somebody framed Roger Rabbit with a Jessica. Whew, took a big boobies. And then we've got the Rescuers. The Rescuers became a magic slate. What is this world coming to? And then we've got Yosemite Sam. I love those Yosemite Sam. It's like one of my uncles or something coming to town when he came on TV. And then we've got Shazam. Remember that? The TV show? This might be based more on the comic, but I remember the TV show. Shazam. I think he lived in a van with an old man. Look at that. And then we've got Buck Rogers. No, that's not Jill Garrard. That's not the Buck Rogers I know, but it's still Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers. I wish it was called Buck Rogers and his Buckaroos, but I don't think it was called that. And then we've got, they really wanted this Dick Tracy to be the next Batman. Nobody care about no damn Dick Tracy. I saw Warren Beatty dressed up like Dick Tracy just like a year ago. I was like, give it up, dude. And then we got another G.I. Joe. This is more of a classic old school G.I. Joe, but there it is, G.I. Joe. And check out this one right here. The real Ghostbusters got into the act. I can't believe it. The Ghostbusters, the real ones, became a magic slate. And check out this right here. This is one you got free in some cereal if you bought Cocoa Puffs. Ain't that right? Cocoa Puffs. Ain't that the one the guys always playing trickaroos on people? They never worked as good. They never worked. It seemed like they worked for a while, but I guess the wax underneath. You know, you could take that, lift that phlegm up and put your fingernail on that wax and get all your fingernails and everything. Ooh, I got you doing my fingernails. It was crazy. But these never worked as good, but they were free. Then we got Barbie. That don't even look like Barbie. What's the deal with that? And how about this one right here? Humanoid? I can't read that small. Sorry. Blow that up. Oh, that says humanoid. I think I can't see it. I blew it for you guys, but I can't see it. And then we... Them damn ancestral Mormons are at it again. Donnie and Marie. Right there. Donnie and Marie. And check out the Captain freaking Kangaroo. Captain Kangaroo. Yeah. I love some Captain Kangaroo. Everybody talks about Mr. Rogers nowadays. He's cool. Don't get me wrong. Mr. Rogers is good, but Captain Kangaroo. This guy let ping pong balls fall in his face. Whew. I once saw Mr. Moose put a ping pong ball in his mouth. Crazy. Mr. Moose. And then we have my favorite Martian. That's a little before my time, but I didn't know. My favorite Martian. I heard of it. It's got that old guy in it. It was he was in a bunch of stuff back then. And he was always old. Never seen this guy young in my life. And then we got the Never-Ending Story. The Never-Ending Story became a magic slate. Crazy. My Pet Monster. A doll line. Kids used to hook up on this thing, and now they get in a magic slate. And check out this, Centrons. Centrons, another toy line turned into a magic slate. And if you notice this one up in the corner up there, well, right above the pin, it says, do not get, well, all of them say this, do not store over 100 degrees. 100 degrees. What kid is playing with a magic slate over 100 degrees? Ethiopians don't play with magic slate. No. They play with flies. I think that's all they ever see them. That's all I ever see them playing with. And then we got another Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I just like saying that. Ain't that fun to say Spider-Man? There it is. I took my son to see the new Spider-Man 2, not new Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2 this weekend. They were showing all those Spider-Man movies. And I was like, man, they just don't make old comic book movies like this anymore. It was great. Then we got the Munsters. The Munsters. I used to call them the Monsters when I was a kid. The Munsters right there. There's Lily. I can't do a very bad impression. I don't know why they put the little boy down at the bottom down there. And then we got Batman. Batman. That's right. Batman right there. Remember that joke? What's the difference between Batman and a black guy? Better not. How better not? Let's move on. Oh, what is this one? King Arthur. King Arthur had his own magic slate. Crazy times. Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels had their own magic slate. I wonder if you can roll the car over and see tracks. That would have been cool. Jurassic Park. I didn't put anything on magic slate. Jurassic Park. Think about it. They didn't make any merchandise for Jurassic Park, but they made this. Weird. Ben owned this one. Whoever Ben is, he owned it. Steve Urkel magic slate. Now here's some little behind the scenes for you. This whole video was going to be Steve Urkel merchandise. I only could find about 10 or 11. It wasn't fun, so I can't do a whole video on that. I never got the whole Steve Urkel thing. It was stupid, but who the fuck is Steve Urkel? Then we got the Wizard of Oz. Toto's getting into the act. Toto, stop being a magic slate. And Hulk. Look at Hulk stopping a car. He don't even have his purple pants. He's got red pants on. Hulk, look at him changing into the Hulk over on the side. That's cool. Then we got another Star Trek one. That's that mirror thing they went through and put them on a different planet, I think, or something. And then we got Todd. I love Tom and Jerry as a kid. I love Jerry. But now I get older, I think I'm a little bit more on the side of Tom. Feels like, catch that, eat that rat one time. Eat that damn rat one time. I was caught in trouble. And then we got the Transformers. Can't really transform anything, but you could draw something on your magic slate. And the Jetsons. We looked at the Jetsons. This ain't the same one we looked at last time, is it? Yeah, we're back. We were looking at a lot of them. Magic slate. There's no doubt in my mind you had one. I don't know, the poorest kid in the world had a magic slate. These things, I don't know how much they cost. 30 cents or something. They had to be real cheap back then. In fact, I'm going to look it up. According to AI, that thing, it costs about 50 cents. So like I said, even the poor kids could get this. If your parents were too poor to get you a magic slate at least once in your childhood, maybe they shouldn't even have had kids.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.